So if you want to start with what is the most easily digestible legume, that is split moong dal without peel. So this dal is most easy to cook, and all the legumes almost cooked in a certain way, like for example, though there is in Ayurveda cooking there is a specific way of cooking and preparing spices, but for that you need to join our Ayurveda cooking recipes. Because this way we can teach you how in Ayurveda we cook various kind of legumes. We are preparing for that, but we have not done it yet. If you have already started cooking these legumes, always make the water content more, so that this legume will be easily digested and adaptable for your body. And this yellow moong dal without peel, this is extremely beneficial. Even if somebody has diarrhea, dysentery, you can use this dal, because we all use this dal as a Ayurveda practitioners. Whenever we have bad stomach or our patient has bad stomach, we always recommend person to have this dal, because it is most easy to digest and it is very healthy, nutritious. And sometimes even I remember when I was small kid and I am in my stomach, liver was extremely weak and I was not able to digest anything. So I was taking the water of this yellow dal my mother was giving, because it was the only thing that time my stomach was digesting. So at that time Ayurveda was not so known to us. But after that, when I studied Ayurveda, then it becomes very logical, like this splitted moong dal. It is very easy to digest by the stomach, and it is very easy to cook. You just put the same spices, but when stomach is bad, you use less spices, not too much spices you use very less quantity of spices, or better to avoid spices, just little bit of salt you use and turmeric. That is enough. If you have some bad diarrheas or bad dysenteries, half cup of this split moong dal along with 2 cups of water. So it is a kind of soup will be made after one whistle of pressure cooker. So this soup you can have. It is very, very beneficial for the stomach, because it's easy to digest. At the same time, it will also satiate your hunger. You can also mix it with rice. And you can make your health better. So it's a full-time diet if you want to shift on vegetarian diet. So Ayurveda, especially if you go through Ayurveda way, so this is one way you can do it. And I really highly recommend, if you really want to shift on these pulses and legumes, you need to have pressure cooker. Otherwise cooking will be extreme time consuming, because daily you don't have whole day to just prepare pulses. And Ayurveda recommend always having fresh food, like you should have food within 3 hours of cooking. So it is very, very beneficial. If you have pressure cooker, you can quickly prepare it, any pulse into it in 20 minutes. One more thing, before cooking any dal, you just remove the dal from the packet and don't put it in cooker. You need to wash it properly. So if you want to know how to prepare any kind of dal, there is a video regarding how to prepare kidney beans and how to prepare these green grams. So you can click on these links and got some idea like how to wash these dals. All the dals need to be, all dals or these legumes, we call all these legumes as dals. So all these legumes need to be washed in a certain way, and then you need to put in pressure cooker and cook in a specific way. Most of the legumes are being cooked like we cook these green grams. So even if you start cooking like this, it will start generating health for you. And in these dal cooking and this green gram cooking, we have also mentioned how to put spices, how to create it. So it would be very beneficial for you, and this way it becomes very easy for you how to cook dals in a specific way. It is just like if you are very beginner for cooking legumes, you can add more water than me, but not that much water that you fill the cooker, then no place for having steam. Just whatever water I am putting in this specific video, you put little more, so that the dal consistency or this legume consistency will be more liquid. But just 1/4 of this you can add more, not more than that, because there will be no space for the steam in cooker, and then everything will come out of cooker, though that would be not so good. And if you don't have pressure cooker, but if you want to cook legumes, so I would recommend you need to soak it overnight, a day before in a lukewarm water, so that next day if you are cooking it, it will take maybe an hour by boiling, because boiling take a lot of time. So for them also they can use, but make sure you soak it before, because otherwise legumes will not be prepared properly, and these will not be boiled properly, and if they are not boiled properly, they will not give you health, rather it becomes extremely difficult to digest, and sometimes it causes stomach pain also. How to use pressure cooker and how we are using pressure cooker, there is a total description in this video. You please watch this video before cooking any legume. It would be extremely beneficial for you and extremely helpful for you. So like I mentioned, you start adding legumes in your diet slowly, and if you want to replace your meat diet with this legume diet, then slowly, like first 1/4, then 50%, then 75%, and then 100%. So this way you can replace totally this meat protein diet with legume plant protein diet. So it is extremely beneficial, and it is very eco-friendly. It is very good for health because it does not cause diabetes. It is very beneficial in even diabetic patients. These are very beneficial in hypertension. These are extremely beneficial. This kind of diet is extremely beneficial in cardiac problems, because they do not contain trans fat, they do not contain saturated fat, and they contain more proteins and carbohydrates, which are the essential needs for the body. And that is why latest researches are even saying the rice and dal, that means rice and legume, is one complete diet that is that contains enough calories which is needed for a person during one meal during a day. So in this way Ayurveda cooking can be part of all our homes, and but make sure you use these organic legumes. It is very important. It should not contain a lot of pesticides. It should be free from insects. Also it should be washed properly. It should not contain any kind of stones and any kind of germs, insects, like these kind of things. You need to pay little attention to just make it clean or take it from proper source, and try to have organic legumes, because they are more beneficial, they are more tasty, because they are more beneficial, they are more tasty, and they are more health giving, because anything that is organic, that is more from the nature, and that will help us more. Legumes can also be cooked with rice. If you are cooking rice and if you have soaked legumes yesterday, you can also add legumes in your rice, but you need to add little bit of spices into it, like I mentioned, but do not put spices more than half teaspoon, because it is too much, because excess of spices make food tasty, but they are not so good for health. So you need to use spices as a medicine, and that's too in a powder form, not as like full spice. You just take a you make a mixture of spices. For example, coriander seeds are you taking, try to grind it and make it in little powder form, not total powder form, but little bit in between powder form. So this way you can use spices. Too much spices don't use, especially if you are Pitta body type, because it will generate a lot of heat in the system. But at the same time, if you are cooking legumes, please add these spices like I mentioned: cumin, coriander, asafoetida if it is possible, if you like. Very little of asafoetida, like just pinch, and turmeric and fenugreek. So all these spices are very part of our Indian culture, and they are Ayurveda herbs. They have tremendous benefits in balancing all these three types of doshas. So this way you can enjoy Ayurveda legumes and pulses and make your health better. If you have any questions regarding these pulses, legumes, or if you want to know Ayurveda cooking, please write to us. We will try to design this program as soon as possible, so that you all can get benefited, or maybe we personally come to teach you as lessons. So you don't know, it depends on person to person, like what they want. We will try our best. So that's all about legumes. Thank you so much for watching my video, and if you like this video, don't forget to share it with your friends. We want to help more and more people, and it is so good, like if more and more people will be touched with this knowledge of Ayurveda, so that more and more people can become healthy and they can enjoy life. So if you have any question regarding this, please write down to us. We will try to answer your questions in the best possible way. At the same time, if you have not subscribed our channel, please take a moment, hit the subscribe button, click the bell icon so that you stay in tune with our upcoming videos and which are more health related videos. And with this note, I would like to say stay healthy, stay blessed, take care, keep smiling and don't forget to share. Bye. Stay blessed.